Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video I'll be showing you all the processes of sewing a female flare trouser. So in my previous video I talked about how to cut it. I'll be putting the link on my description below. So in this video I'll be talking about the sewing aspect. So also I will not be showing the process of making the pocket, because I've made a video on how to make a trouser pocket, so it will still be on the link below. Alright, so this is when we are done with the trouser pocket already, and now we are going to the machine. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is to make a dart at the back of the trouser. This is the back of the trouser, so I'll be making a dart of 3 inches. You can equally make it 3.5 inches. That's on the two sides of the trouser at the back. See how I'm folding it, because the dart has to be at the center of the trouser. Okay, so I'm measuring 3.5 inches. Yeah, so that's that for the back of the trouser. Now we are joining the two sides. That's the right side, the front, one of the fronts, and the back, the sides of the trouser. Alright, so this is the left side, and I'm going to be putting my zip on this left side. Okay, so I'm placing the front to the front, remember, front to front, and then I'm going to measure the space for my trouser zip. Remember, the female trouser, the zip is always on the side of the trouser, so I'm measuring 6 inches. So I'm starting from 6 inches to stitch it down, because the 6 inches is the space for the trouser zip. Alright, so I'm just going to join it straight down. Now you can see that I'm sewing half of an inch on each side of the trouser. That's what I'm going to be doing, because remember we added 2 inches while cutting the trouser. So now I'm going to do the same thing for the other side of the trouser. And remember, it's this front to the front. Now this other side, I'm not starting at 6 inches, but I'm not starting at the beginning. As you can see from the video, I left a little space there. Now the reason for leaving that space, I will show you as the video go on. So I'm also going to join it straight down. Okay, now we are done with the both sides of the trouser. Now we are going to close the flap. Now we're starting from the front side of the flap trouser. Okay, so we are joining it from the beginning straight down. Hope you understand. And I'm going to do the same for the back. Now, before I close the back, I'm going to measure the waist. Remember the waist of our trouser. Okay, so now you're going to just measure the waist and place it right there. Now the waist of our trouser is 32, which is 16. So we are stitching it at 16 inches, which is 32. Remember, we are doing that from the beginning down. Okay, now you can see that the trouser is almost done. Now you are closing the other side, the inner side of the trouser. So we are starting from the tip. Okay, then we are going to stop at the flap. Then we start from the other side and also meet the flap as well. Okay, now at this point our trouser is like 50% ready. I had to fast forward it a little bit so that it will not take much of our time. You understand? So it's a little bit fast because I don't want it to be too long. You understand? So at this point you can see what we have here. So now we are going to add our waistband to the front and the back. So this is our flap. I added a cloth gum, a hairstay to it. You can equally use the cloth gum. We don't usually use gum stay, and you can see how I folded it. Okay, leaving a little inches there. So this like the difference between the female waistband and the male waistband. So I'll be stitching it from the back, just as you can see. I'll stitch it from the back and then turn it over to the front. Okay, so let's go to the machine. Now this is what I mean. This is the front of the trouser, but now I'm going to turn it over to the back and then stitch it from the back. As you can see in the video, I'm going to stitch it from the back, and then when I'm done, I'll turn it over to the front. Alright, so now this is the reason why I didn't start from the beginning while I was joining the right side of the trouser. Remember, so that it will be easier for me to do what I'm doing right now, as you can see in the video. That's the reason why I did not close it up to the extreme. Now I'm turning it over to the front and I'm going to stitch it. But now before that, let me join the back as well. And you can see how easy it is. Very easy. So you can equally go back. If you did not watch the previous video, you can go back and watch the video on how to cut it. Then you can come back and watch this one. So we'll cut off the extras, and now we are going to turn it over to the front. Now I'm adding an elastic here, so that I want it to be a little bit stretchy. Okay, just for more fitting. I usually do this for all my female trousers, so it is not a must that you do it, but I prefer doing it. So I'm just going to add a little elastic to the back side of the trouser. It makes it to look more firm while they put it on. You can see how it looks. Now I'm going to fold it in this way and close it up. Now while doing this, you have to sew at the edge of it, of the waistband. It makes it look clean and beautiful that way. Okay, so work done finish like this now. You can see how it is, how easy it is. So if you follow this process, you are definitely going to get a perfect result. Moreover, I'm using my manual machine because it's NEPA now. We are in Nigeria, so they took the lights. Now to the front, I'm just going to turn it over and do the same thing. You understand? So after I'm done with this, I'm now going to close that little space I left on the right side of the trouser. Remember, the zip is going to be on the left side, so this little space I left on the right side, now is the time I'm going to close it up. Okay, so you can see. So at this point, what we have left now is just to fix the zip. You can see how it looks like. What we have left now is just to fix the zip and then to fold the, remember we've not folded the down part of the trouser. Okay, so this is the zip. I'm going to be fixing an invisible zip. Okay, so I already have a tutorial video on how to fix an invisible zip, but just for the sake of this video, you can equally watch and then pay attention, and you definitely understand. But if you don't, I'm also going to add the link to the video where I did specifically on how to fix an invisible zip, because what I'm doing here is exactly the same thing that I taught on that video. Alright, so you'll be able to understand it more when you watch that particular video. Yeah, so you're done with the other side. Now we are going to complete the other side of the zip. I feel you are going to understand it more if you watch my previous video on how to fix an invisible zip. Okay, that one is more detailed. But now the first stitch is just to hold the zip. Now we are just going to open it up and stitch on the inside. Now all this protocol, all this process is because I'm adding an invisible zip to the side of the trouser. I want to use an invisible zip, but if you're not using an invisible zip, then you definitely know how to fix. You don't need all these double processes. Alright, so yeah, this is what we have. I just want to test it and be sure that it's working fine. Yeah, so I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side of the trouser. And this now work done finish. Alright, so if you have watched to this point, I would like you to leave a comment of where you're watching from. Yeah, and also like this video. It's not really easy to do this. Yeah, so you can see how it looks. Very clean. So now I'm just going to fold in the extras and double stitch on the top side of the trouser. So I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. You know the process already, so fold in the extra zip, and that is that. So this is what we have, and the process or how to make an invisible zip, the link will be on the description below. How to make a clean and neat invisible zip like this one you are seeing right now. You see how clean it is. The process is, I've made a video like that already. So now I'm just going to fold it down and then iron. So this is what it looks like. Clean and perfect, right? Now if you follow the process of cutting and the process of sewing till this point, I assure you that you're definitely going to get a perfect result. So all you need to do is subscribe, like and share. Thank you.